Everyone, Digital David here. Today in this video, I'm going to be checking out the Shark AV2501S AI robot vacuum cleaner with self-emptying base. I did purchase this product myself, and any opinion expressed in this video is strictly my own. That being said, if you're interested in this product, you want to find out more about it, the link to it will be in the video description. You can see the retail box in packaging right here. Pretty simple and straightforward, walking through a couple of key features and tech specs. This is the 30-day capacity self-emptying base. They do have a larger self-emptying base available depending on your needs. That'll deliver the same vacuum with a different color pattern on the top and the larger capacity base for you. So you have a couple different options out there depending on your budget and your needs. Now let's go ahead, let's open it up and look at the contents. Here are all the contents. First up, we have our product literature with more information on the Shark Clean app. And we have this big piece of cardboard that was included in the packaging right at the top that has the QR code for you and information. You can download it for free on iOS and Android devices. We have our included side cleaning brushes for the RoboVac. We have the self-emptying charging base, 30-day capacity. And we have the RoboVac itself, AI laser navigation with LIDAR built in. Now let's go ahead, let's look at both of these in more detail. First up, we're looking at the self-emptying base. We have our Shark logo and branding right here. We can open this up to reveal an air filter that we need to clean every month or so, or else loss of suction may occur, and they have instructions right there for you. On the other side, we have our dustbin release button, so we can easily get access to our dustbin to empty out as needed. Pay attention right here. So we have this orange button that we can press, and we can dump out all of the contents of the bin. This is the 30-day capacity version, and we have our indicator right here letting us see inside how full it actually is. So then we know when it's time to empty the bin. Let's turn it on its side. So we can press this button to release to reveal another filter we can clean. Let's flip it over to the back side. We have our on and off power switch right here, integrated power cord and cable, and our cable management system built right in. And we have two channels, one on each side, depending on where the outlet is. That's nice. Here's the look at the other side. Let's flip it over to the very bottom. So 4 nice rubber grip feet. Pretty wide base. And then keeping it back upright for a second, I guess we'll just show this side where the vacuum's going to back in, and that's where it's going to suck all of the contents up and into the base. A lot of sensors right in there. I believe they're going to be infrared sensors. And we have our 2 charging contacts right there on the base. Now let's look at the vacuum. Here's the vacuum from the top, front and center, Shark logo and branding, AI laser navigation, 2 peelable stickers. So the one on the left tells us how to turn the RoboVac on, place it on the charging base, press and hold the clean button for 5 to 7 seconds until the indicator light turns on, and a QR code to download the Shark Clean app. You may notice 2 control buttons as well, clean and dock, with an indicator light strip right there. And I see a battery icon as well up at the top there. Sensor on the back. Let's flip it around. This is going to reveal the dustbin. Again, this is a self-emptying base, but if you do want to manually remove the contents in there, you can do that like so. We have a filter we can remove and clean. So pretty neat, and this just slides right back in. Let's keep looking at the unit. We'll go all the way around. Additional infrared sensors, our navigational bumper with more sensors packed in. Here's the other side, and then we're back to the back. So let's go ahead, let's flip it around. Here we have our spring-loaded drive wheels, where we're going to install the included side cleaning brushes, omnidirectional wheel, cliff sensors, couple extra brushes right there, our charging contacts, and we have our main brush roller that we can easily remove and clean as needed. So it's got kind of a hybrid design here, right? So we got our blue flap, rubberized flap with bristles alternating. Additional brushes right there on the back of it, but that just snaps in place so we can easily remove, replace, and clean as needed. Now let's go ahead, let's get this set up. Setting up the Shark RoboVac's very easy and straightforward. Just take the 2 included side cleaning brushes. They're not labeled left or right or anything like that, so you can put them on either side. Just line them up because they are square, and then they just snap right in place like so. And we have set up our shark vac. Now let's go ahead, let's let it charge up, and we'll get the mobile app set up. So download the Shark Clean app for your iOS or Android device. Once you do, you'll be prompted to sign in or create an account. Then you'll be at this home screen. It'll look similar if you have other devices connected. If you don't have any devices, it'll look a little bit differently, but we're gonna be adding a device. So choose on your screen to add a device. In our case, we gotta go to the top left-hand corner and we're gonna choose add a robot. Now we select get started. Is your robot a shark AI self-empty? In this case, we select yes. We've already attached the brushes. Now you can set it up to find a permanent home. Follow the steps there. Turn on the back power switch. So that's going to be the line position. Ours is already in that position. That's going to be your on position. Select continue. Check the base power indicator. We do have this lit up right here. You can't see it on the top camera, but it is lit up, showing the home icon and it's charging. So my dock is ready. Gently place your shark on the dock to charge, which we have done. I can see the lights is what it says. So I do. We have the light there for the battery. Prepare to connect your shark to your Wi-Fi network. So get your password. Make sure you're connected to a 2.4 gigahertz Wi-Fi network. Select continue. Press and hold both buttons on your shark until we hear a prompt. So we didn't get a voice prompt, but I do see that the Wi-Fi indicator lights are blinking right here. So let's select continue. Allow connections if prompted.
Let's get cleaning.
Now we got the prompt. Select continue, and it's going to work on connecting to our shark. Here we go. We got our prompt. We're going to join the network. Now you may notice it's accessing the shark's Wi-Fi. And now it's finding our network, so we need to choose which network we want to connect to. So select your network, enter your password, and hit next. Now it's working on connecting to our network. All right, there we go. The shark has successfully been connected. Now we can press continue. We can name our vacuum here if we want. I'll do Shark AI. Continue. Have pets or a larger area to clean. Your shark can empty its bin more often. So we can do sounds good or no thanks. Let's do no thanks for now. Now it's time to allow the shark to prepare and map. So we can do an explore run and a home map review. Select continue. So it's going to explore and create a map of your home in real time. After the explore run, you can customize the map and start using smart cleaning features. So here we go. We're now in the main settings of the RoboVac. So let's go ahead, let's look at those in more detail. So without it doing the explore run, I really can't do much else within the mobile app right now. So let's let the vacuum explore and we'll come back and take a look. First up, we have the Shark AI cleaning on some carpet. Look as it moves back and forth. It's not having any issues driving on the carpet, navigating in the room. Due to its precise navigation, we have that row by row cleaning pattern, which is my personal preference. It basically guarantees a consistent clean every time. The vacuum knows where it is, where it hasn't cleaned. It gives you a nice overlap between the previous pass. So very nice. Currently we have it at normal suction settings. Let's drop it down to eco. So definitely a noticeable change. And I feel like I can even tell it's not making as strong of a pattern or line on the carpet. Now let's bump it up from eco to max. So we just changed it. There we go. It kicked in. And now I'm going to drop it back down to normal. Okay, a slight difference you can tell between all three power levels. Nice cleaning lines and patterns though on carpet. If that's what you're after, you're definitely going to get that with the Shark, whether you're using normal or even max. I would just choose whatever suction level fits your needs and maybe the particular area. On carpets, you might want that extra suction boost and go switch up to max. So you can make sure that it's really lifting everything out of the carpets. But check that out, pretty nice cleaning pattern there. It looks substantially better than the non-vacuumed area at the bottom of the video. Now we have the shark approaching the top of the steps right here. So the cliff sensors have activated. It's smart enough to know where the edge of the steps are and not go over the landing. The Shark AI also cleans great on hard floors and surfaces, as you can see in the kitchen right here. Again, just like the carpets, it's going to have that row by row logical cleaning pattern, going back and forth, picking up any crumbs, dirt, debris, things like that. And it moves effortlessly on the hard floor and surface. Oh, got a little RoboVac fight right there. But no issues as it navigates back and forth freely all around the house, regardless of the surface that you're on, whether it's carpet or hard floors. Now we have the Shark in action, transitioning between a hard surface and an area rug, as well as some shoe obstacles right here. It's pretty aggressive as it drives up on my wife's sandal. Look at that. So some of these RoboVacs aren't very aggressive. Other ones like the Shark can be. I mean, this is crazy. Look at how powerful it is. But this is why it's important to clean up after yourself so the vacuum doesn't get stuck, because they're really powerful and strong-willed. And chances are yours might look like this too as it gets in a fight with the shoes and the doorstop. I'm actually really impressed that it didn't, say error or have any sort of issue like that. That's wild. That was crazy. But it can transition just fine between an area rug and a hard floor and surface. Don't forget, when your RoboVac is done cleaning, it'll return home to charge or recharge and resume depending on the status of your clean. But right now it's working on finding its charging base. Appears to be lined up here. You may notice too, it'll back into the base so it can auto empty. So it found the base, it lined up, it has its approach here, and now watch as it backs into the base to charge and empty. So cool. There we go. Now it's time to empty. So pretty quick overall and not too loud as it activates that self-emptying feature. Obviously you're gonna hear it and it's louder than the RoboVac, but it's not too obnoxious or anything like that to run in your house for a couple of seconds. We just finished our first clean. Let's check out the results. First thing we're gonna look at is the main brush roller on the Shark AI RoboVac. You may notice we already have some threads accumulating right here. So with this design, just make sure you flip it over every couple of cleans and do proper maintenance, cut and pull them away before it gets too out of control. Same with the side cleaning brushes. Every once in a while you may accumulate some tangle, some hair buildup around here. So just pull off and clean as needed. Let's set this out of the way now. Let's look at the dustbin contents. So we just press to eject. Here's our dustbin. It's not very full yet. Again, we had the 30-day capacity. Let's open it up. Ooh, look at that inside. Trying to make a mess here, but let's dump it out. Lots of crumbs. Well, that's disgusting. So look at those results right there. Pet hair, I do have a dog. And then look at the really fine dirt and dust particles as well as the larger items. So we got some grass clippings, some larger crumbs, debris, things like that. Everything you'd find around your house, you can expect this to pick up, from hair to crumbs, this RoboVac has you covered. Now that our first clean is done, we have our map all set up and ready to go. You can see it right here within the Shark Clean app. Yours will look different depending on the floor plan of your house and how you want to configure it. I already went ahead and set mine up how I wanted it. So right from the app, obviously we have our status, our battery. We can have it clean right now. We can also browse by room. So we could select a room and have it clean just those areas. So that's really neat. We also have zones. So you can see in red, I have no-go zones. It's going to keep out and not go in any of those areas. One is a shag rug that typically, no matter what brand, what price of RoboVac, they eventually get stuck on the shag rug. And also have another area for computer desk with some cables and cords underneath that a lot of times cause trouble for RoboVacs. We can choose in this one with our cleaning zones in green to clean or do an ultra clean. And then for spot cleaning mode, this is going to give us an ultra clean. We can move this around our map. It'll go to that area and just clean that particular spot. So it's really neat, very detailed, it does a good job. Now let's look at the map settings. So to get to your map settings, select the menu option in the top left-hand corner, and then you're going to choose map. And our map is going to load. We'll have the option to edit the map or re-explore. If you re-explore, it's going to delete your map. And at the time of this video, there's no option to add additional maps. I would love to see that feature added very quickly because a lot of the competitors at this price point competing with this vacuum do offer at least 2 maps, some up to 4 and beyond. So it'd be great to see that capability here. It's really nice if you want to just take, the unit upstairs, do a clean, or the basement, things like that. It'd be nice to have the ability to save multiple maps. But in this case, we're just going to edit our map. So we can add a room if we want. And then we can delete it too. We can select a room, we can merge, delete, or relabel. Same thing for zones. This is where we can set up our no-go zones. You see the no-go zones that we have here. We could add another one if we wanted. And then we have our high traffic zones. So we could add another one or delete as we see fit. Very easy to customize. And don't forget in the top right-hand corner, right under the done button, we can rotate the map too, depending on the view that you would want. You can just tap that button and you have multiple ways to view your map. And lastly, now that we're still in the mobile app, I wanted to show you the history tab, so you can select history right there. And this is going to give us our cleaning history, our runtime, cleaning runs, area cleaned. So we can choose by date here, and we can see all of the stats from that day. So pretty cool. Massive history here. And then the 27th we cleaned. So we can view that info as well, the runtime. Very detailed schedule and history that'll build out over the course of 30 days. Now it's time to really test out our Shark AI robot vacuum. First up, we're gonna see how good of a job it does vacuuming all these Cheerios off of the rug. So we got about 8 Cheerios left over, most along the edge or the corners, and typically they're a casualty of the side cleaning brushes, just hitting them to an area that's already been cleaned. If we made a second or third pass, I expect all of them to be cleaned up. Now I've embedded 10 grams of sand into the rug. Let's turn the Shark up to max suction and see how good of a job it does cleaning it up. Inside the dustbin, you can see all the sand that we were able to vacuum up. We got around 4 grams out of the 10 grams of sand back in the vacuum. Now it's time to put the Shark AI through the hair torture test. This is a really brutal test on RoboVacs. Typically, they can't pick up much of the hair at all, and they usually find themselves getting stuck with the main brush roller, side cleaning brushes, or something along those lines. So let's go ahead and get it started. So we already got an obstruction error. Let's go ahead and see what's going on. The first casualty right here, check it out. The drive wheel has a ton of hair that's stuck in it. Correction, there was hair stuck in this, but I think the issue caused was actually hair stuck in the main brush roller right here. Let's let it resume. So we got another obstruction here. Let's check it out. So this is more typical with this style of cleaning system. I mean, look at that brush right there. Look at, that shouldn't be black. That's all the hair. Remember, this is blue right there. So look at all the hair that's now stuck on the main brush. So checking in the dustbin, we've actually picked up a pretty good amount of hair, especially compared to similar vacuums from Roomba. Now, they don't get tangled with their AeroForce cleaning system, but you can tell that since our brush roller is really tangled, it's actually picking up and catching the hairs, which is why we have more tangles as well as more hair in our dustbin. We put the Shark AI robot vacuum through the ringer. Now let me share with you my final thoughts. First thing I want to say, when it comes to name brand RoboVacs, you're typically dealing with iRobot in their Roomba lineup or Shark. Shark, in my opinion, usually has a better value with the features that they provide. In regards to this particular model, I'm pleased with the AI mapping ability thanks to LIDAR navigation. It does a really good job. Doesn't matter if you're on hardwood floors or if you're on carpet, it's going to give you a nice and consistent clean with that row by row navigation and the smart abilities to actually know where it is to go do spot cleans or no-go zones. Things like that, this vacuum will have you covered. The self-emptying base with the Shark lineup is always one of my favorite features because it has a bagless design that's pretty unique compared to all the competitors on the market. I like that because your cost of ownership is really low. There's no reoccurring monthly or quarterly bag fee you'd have to set aside to buy new bags for your self-emptying base. So for me, that's a big plus. Also, with this vacuum, the mobile app's super simple and easy to use. Now, I would argue that they're missing one key feature, and that's the ability to have multiple maps saved. At the time of this video, that is not something that is possible, but hopefully in the future, with maybe a software update, that more maps can be added. I'd love to see 4 maps at a minimum, especially if you've got like a basement, a first floor, or a second story, and you want to use it through all those areas. It would be nice to have that capability. But overall, a solid choice if you're looking for a LIDAR-equipped smart RoboVac with a self-emptying base that doesn't have any bags with that nice bagless design.